Just a quick note before we start this lesson. I'm going to be using a file here, and you can find this particular file in the Project Files folder under Lesson 8 called Tips and Tricks. Now you don't necessarily have to follow along with me, but this Tips and Tricks file is here for your use whenever you'd like to look at it. Now the first trick we're going to look at is how to use the fill handle. Select a cell, you'll see a black box around the active cell, and then you'll see this little dot here. This is what's referred to as the fill handle. Now as you know, you can copy and paste anything you want. And again, copy paste is Control C for copy, and you can press Control V to paste. Let me undo this a little bit. The fill handle allows you to fill down a certain number of cells just by simply clicking on it and then dragging down. This is a wonderful alternative to copying and pasting, especially if you have lots of lines of data. Also with the fill handle, you can automatically fill a certain number of cells based on the cells around it. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to copy this particular section out and paste it right here. I'll expand out my column here. And you'll notice that I've got a contiguous range of cells from line 3 to line 14. Instead of filling it in by clicking and dragging, what I'll do is I'll double-click on this block dot. And you'll notice that Excel automatically fills in the range until the contiguous range stops, or until it meets its first blank cell. And it doesn't have to be text that you do this with. Let me go ahead and delete this, and I'll just put in a formula. Equals this cell times this cell. Now I've got a formula that says H3 times G3. Instead of copying this formula down with copy-paste, I'm going to simply double-click on this black fill handle, and my formula goes all the way down. Again, this is a fantastic way to save time and avoid having to copy-paste multiple times. The one thing that you'll have to remember is that Excel will stop at the first blank cell it meets. So, for instance, let me go ahead and delete this. If I split this data set up with a blank row, and then I try to do the same thing, equals this cell times this cell, I'm going to double click on the fill handle. You'll notice that it didn't come all the way down. Excel stopped at the first blank cell it met.